Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the James R. McMahon Memorial Coliseum for this season's annual preseason blue and white game. The Salette Lions will be facing off against each other and getting some real game speed looks at this season's varsity team before the regular season starts. I'm Kevin Quigley, and alongside me is Michael McCall. How are you doing, Michael?
Kevin, I am doing absolutely fantastic. We just had a JV game, quite a thrilling game, 31-28. And I am so excited to see how this varsity team is. You know, last year we had a pretty good team. It was all seniors, you know, very talented group of guys. However, that means none of them are here now. So Charles Further had a lot of playing time, but everybody else is new, so I am so excited to see some fast-paced playing basketball, see how we face up tonight.
Right, so the Lions, of course, in their second season, the IHS 8 last year, this year. Last year was the first season, and we went to the regional tournament. Unfortunately, we ended up coming up short, but that was still a very big achievement for the school. So we're going to hope to follow up this year. Maybe we can even bring home a regional this year.
That would be absolutely fantastic. And Salette has brought back their first regional championship. It was not in basketball. It was in cross country. And it was a fantastic regional championship. Marco Cruz won the entire race, and his time was 16:07, I believe.
Something like that. It was fast. It was way faster than I'd ever run, for sure.
Exactly same for me. I ran cross country my freshman year. Whew. Not going to do that again. It was pretty rough, and I'm just so happy that, you know, we got some young players. You know, he's a freshman. There were no seniors on there was one senior, excuse me, on the varsity team, which just shows that we have a lot of young talent, meaning that in the coming years, we're only going to get better, which means, you know, state, we're going to come for it, and hopefully we're going to win it in the next 3 or 4 years, maybe second, maybe 2 years, maybe even next year.
So much for cross country, but back to basketball right now as the Lions right now, you'll see on your screen when we pull back the curtain, you'll see the varsity team is going to be wearing white, and the JV team is going to be wearing blue. There are a couple of the varsity subs on the blue team. Rylan Taw will be captaining that team. But then most of the varsity roster that you'll see this season will be on the white team. So this is a little bit of a change from what we've seen for at least as long as I've been here the past 3 years. It's always been JV and varsity mixed, but Coach Spezia wants, since our first season game is just next week on Tuesday against Georgetown, he wants to get the varsity a lot of playing time together rather than having to split them up and having to work with some of the other guys on the bench. So we're going to see the entire varsity team together. This is your sneak peek for the upcoming season, and this will really tell us what the season has in store for us.
And that first season game, I do believe, is on Tuesday. It's versus Georgetown. That's a little bit of a rivalry because
a little bit.
Just a little bit. You know, we faced off against them. I do think we beat them once last year and lost them once last year. Unless, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how it went. So hopefully, you know, on Tuesday with this sprouting young, talented varsity team, we'll be able to pull off a victory on Tuesday.
So right now the referee doing a little bit of, I think they call it team talk to both teams. They don't usually do that, but it might have something to do with this being the first game of the season.
They do that a little bit in rugby, don't they, as a varsity player yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Been in a couple of those.
Just a few.
They do that mostly with, you know, the forwards, don't they, you know?
Right. For rugby, it's really the forwards are the ones that, you know, commit all the penalties. They're the ones that are really uncoordinated and kick people in the face. So they're the ones that the referees have to talk to before the game. I'm a back, so I get to kind of sit out those things.
So a lot of bias right there coming from a back, you know, against the forwards.
Yeah, basically none of that was true.
No.
So.
But anyway, looks like we got a full cheering section for both teams. Looks like seniors and freshmen, or excuse me, seniors, 8th graders and freshmen will be facing off against juniors and sophomores. So we'll see who will be the loudest tonight. Salette has been renowned throughout their years for having a mighty cheering section, which they call the Crazies.
Head crazy this year is going to be senior Vincent Boozing. That's a bit of a coveted title to be the head crazy and get to lead the cheers for the team. And little known fact, if you're the head crazy, you get into the away games for free. Because you count as a cheerleader, you do not have to pay the $3 admission to get into an away game.
That is a fantastic, you know, positive What is the word I'm looking for?
I mean, that's just job benefits right there.
There you go, job benefits. You don't have to pay that $3 to get into the basketball game. We also got our mascot, the Lion, out here tonight, representing the school on the court. We'll see if he has any tricks up his sleeves. We'll be sure to tell you, because we don't know if you'll be able to see him. We might do some stuff over halftime. And I would like to be the first person to thank our hard-working staff that is working constantly day and night to bring to you these games. We are only high school students. We got to put this stuff together, you know. Great hard-working cast. We got our cameraman, Thomas Staffke. He's been going at it for about a year or two, I think now. We got our hard-working producer and runs a lot of things. Make sure the headphones are working. Make sure everything is coming to you. And that is William Reen. We got our bookkeeper, Marcel Fev. Xavier Dean. He'll be running our clock tonight. And then, of course, Kevin and I hoping to bring to you a great and enjoyable night through this broadcast. Again, we will be able to see if you comment. So please, if you have any tips for us, if you want us to, you know, comment, a little shout out, please just put it in the chat. We'll try to get back to you on that.
So I just had a little bit of a nudge from a little birdie in my ear who said to give a shout out to Father Bevan, our new priest. You can see him right there on the screen. He comes from across the pond from England. A lot of knowledge of rugby that he brings to the school, and he's my Latin teacher right now. So that's him up there in the press box with the announcers.
What a great man Father Bevan is. I personally was born in England, and you know, I love that English accent. And when I heard that we were getting a priest coming from England, I was extremely excited. You know, I talked to Father Sick about maybe getting a little tea time put into the schedule, maybe a little optional PE. You can go to tea time. That was shut down pretty quickly, but you know, he got here and I heard his British accent and I was just delighted, and it brought joy to me to hear that English accent that I heard. You know, don't really remember it, but when I was born back in England. Looks like the refs are finished talking with the players, and hopefully we'll get this game kicked. We'll get this game kicked off.
So I don't know. Normally, before regular season games, we sing the national anthem and then the seasonal hymn to Our Lady. I'm not sure if we're going to do this because it's, of course, not a real game.
And it does look like we're about to get this game started. Refs getting to their positions. Last minute little talk from the coaches. Coach Carlisle has been here with us for 2 years now.
Yeah, this is going to be his third season. Coach Father James Carlisle, the elder.
He will be coaching the Blue JV team. His younger brother, Theo Carlisle, he'll hopefully be on the court. I don't think he's starting, but. And then on the left side of your broadcasters, we got the renowned Coach John Spezia. He's been coaching with La Salette for a while. Coached back in the day, took a little break, and he's now back with us, coaching our varsity team. So we're very excited to see how these two coaches face off against each other in this intramural blue and white game.
So starting tonight for the blue team is going to be number 20, the captain, Rylan Taw, number 35, junior Ian Whitehead, number 30, Sean Holman, and then the two, so those last three were all juniors, and then we have number 33, Elijah Hall, big man, is going to be seeing a lot of action down the post, and then the other sophomore, number 10, John Bronner. He'll probably be running point tonight for the JV team.
We got Sebastian Cook calling in the varsity players right now.
Number 22, the center, Charles Prather, returning starter, letterman last year. And then we have number 5, senior, Blaise Laronia, getting his first chance to start this year, along with the the rest of the team, because really Charles is the only returning starter from last year. All the other faces you're going to be seeing are going to be more or less new faces.
Saw a little bit of Matthew Romero last season. You know, he had some great games last year. He was one of the reasons that we won one of the games, actually. You know, hit a couple threes, put us in the lead, gave us that little extra edge. You also saw Eamon Martin, fantastic player, has some experience. But this is a team that's playing together for the first time.
Right. And rounding out that team is number 3, Augustin Blood, number 11, like you said, Eamon Martin. And then here comes your captain, number 10, Matthew Romero. I'm sorry, number 24. I'm still in last season mode. And that wasn't even his number last season, so I don't even know what I'm saying. So now the JV team will be announced. We already brought those names to you, so we can talk a little bit about what we're hoping to see this game. The Lions varsity team is going to be running a 2-3 on offense. It's going to be running a 2-3 on offense, so there's going to be the 2 guards, Eamon Martin and Matthew Romero. And then the 3 big men, Charles Prather, Blaise Lavergne, and Augustin Blood down low. So that's going to be a really big change from last year, because last year we were essentially playing with almost 4 guards and 1 big man. Really all the seniors were very, very good. Very good fast players and not as much size. But this year, we're not lacking nearly as much as size, and so our offense is going to look almost entirely different.
You know, I am really excited to see Blaise Lavergne. He's a senior this year. You know, I've lived with him for the past 4 years, and I've always listened to him talk about how he's been wanting to start varsity basketball season, and now he's got his chance. He's going to be able to get on the court starting minutes. And so I'm so excited to see how he can. You know, he's such a versatile player. You know, he's tall, he's got the height, and he's a shooter. He can shoot, and he's also he can dribble. You know, he can bring the ball to the court confidently.
So we're going to take a quick break now while we sing the Hymn to Our Lady and the National Anthem. All right, so National Anthem's been sung, starting lineups have been announced, and we're ready to kick off the 2023 Lions basketball season. Elijah Hall is going to be jumping for the ball to start the game with Charles Prather.
You know, I love these games because, you know, both players, or all the players, they know each other. A little bit of inside jokes going, you know. Charles Prather giving a little extended long handshake to Elijah Hall, junior to sophomore. Just a little bit like, you better watch out because I'm bringing everything tonight.
Blaze LaRonia opens the game up with a quick 2. And that's what we want to see. Quick shots and making shots.
And I love this atmosphere, Kevin. You know, it is so loud in here. Just great energy on the court. Crazies bringing the energy to the game. This is just such a fun atmosphere to be in.
Eamon Martin takes it in, nice move, but he's unable to finish. Charles Prather goes up for the rebound, unable to get it, and it looks like Elijah Hall got his head hit. He's standing a little bit weirdly, just holding his head. So I think we're going to have an injury timeout while he comes off the court. But White out to an early lead, 2-0. Less than a minute into the game already.
Nicholas Kellerman wearing number 50 coming in. You know, Eve Nukumba, is that how you say his last name?
Eve Kumba.
Eve Kumba, yeah, he wore that number, very tall player. He wore that number. Nice interception by John Bronner.
And a good finish by Ryland Taw to bring the lead back even. Blue and white both tied at 2. And yeah, like you were saying, Eve Kumba, the tallest player ever in La Salette history at 6'11". He was back on the team a couple years ago. But his time has since passed. And now, Blue comes away with the defensive rebound. And John Bronner takes the ball up the court. Eamon Martin steals the ball, takes it back down the court, and dishes it out to Matthew Romero, who travels, unfortunately.
Ryland Taw taking the ball, sideline. John Bronner, a little communication there. Gets the ball, takes past 10-second line. Shuffle pass to Ryland Taw. Nice defense by Matthew Romero. Gets it back to John Bronner. Over to Ryanans. 3, left-handed shooter, Ryanans. That's no good off the glass. Nice rebound. Nicholas Kellerman. Wild scramble for the ball, and that'll stay Blue. Looks like it's off the feet of Charles Prather. Blue ball.
That's really good to see. You know, the shot was far off by Ryland Taw, but at the same time, Nicholas Kellerman was right there and to grab the rebound. You know, the varsity should have been boxing out right there, but they left the tallest guy in the court wide open.
Peter Agbaparone coming in for the game. Matthew Romero gets the ball. Nice, oh my, block by Ian Whitehead. Nice recovery by Charles Prather, puts it up for 2. John Bronner gets it over to Ian Whitehead. Miscommunication on the blue team, goes right behind Peter Agbaparone's back. That's out of bounds. Ryland Taw coming back into the game for Peter Agbaparone. Father Carlisle, quick substitution. Blue right now has a little bit of advantage on their depth of the bench, but White does have the skill. And Blaze LaRonia gets it into Augusta Blood. Nice ball movement over to Charles Prather, left side of the basket, puts it in for 2. Chuck does a little sign to Gus, telling him good job. That's exactly what we want to see, team chemistry on the court tonight.
And that was just a beauty, just a nice little pass to Gus, and then from Gus right around the defender to Charles. That's a great play.
Nice tip by Blaze LaRonia, tall man. John Bronner tries to throw it over his head. No can do. Blaze LaRonia, massive wingspan. Tips the ball easily. Stops the play. Causes Father Carlisle to use one of his timeouts, kind of rally the troops. Father Carlisle, well known in the school for his motivational speeches. That brings that energy to the team. This will be the first timeout of the quarter.
So 6-2 right now, White up. I guess I should say as they should be. We really wouldn't want to see them down to the JV. But at the same time, we have seen some good play from the JV. The JV haven't been getting owned by the varsity. And then we've seen good plays on both sides of the court.
Yeah, you know, the JV, they did just play a game. They're a little tired, but one thing that I'm happy that I'm seeing right now is that they're not afraid. They're out there boxing out. They're out there getting rebounds, putting up shots. And, you know, Ryan's tall, you know, the spearhead of that team right now, you know, leading his team. And, you know, that's exactly what we want to see from these young players tonight. Blue ball. Ryan Taw inbounding. Has Ian Whitehead open. Gets it to him. Over to John Bronner. Nice defense by Matthew Romero. Trying to get some space in between him. John Bronner dribbles right. Trapped by Eamon Martin. Nice interception by Blaze Aronia. Dribbling down the court. 3v1. Pass over to Matthew Romero. Nice pass back to Blaze Aronia. In for 2. Wow. What a play.
So the Lions right now just playing extremely fast pace, and that has not prevented them from being able to seal the deal. They're making quick passes, they're making quick plays, turnovers, and they're still putting the ball into the hoop, which is great because a lot of the time, you know, you get going so fast that eventually, before you know it, the ball's off your foot and it's out of bounds, and we haven't seen that at all.
Exactly. Nice control. Beautiful defense. Over to Eamon Martin. Matthew with the steal. John Bronner, nice recovery. Jumps to the ball, and he'll get that, and it'll be blue ball. But nice defense right now, showing from the white. Steal from Blaze Aronia, tip from Blaze Aronia, steal from Matthew.
And of course I jinxed it because as soon as I said dribble the ball off your foot, Eamon did just that. He put the ball on his foot and lost it.
And then Matthew dribbled off his nice interception by Charles Prather. It might have been a shove there. No foul called. Matthew gets top of the key. Slows the pace down a little bit. Gets it over to the left, down to the paint, over to Gus Blood. Matthew dribbles left, takes a shot. Oh, no good. Rebounds. Blaze Aronia over to Matthew Romero. Nice dish inside. Puts it up for 2. Nice flick of the hand for 2 points. 4:14 left in the first quarter. 10-2, White up. John Bronner gets it past the 10-second line. Rylands being guarded by his classmate, Eamon Martin. Looking for an open man, keeping the ball. And gets it over to John Bronner, excuse me. Sean Holman gets the ball briefly over to Ryland. Nice shot by Ryland. No good. Oh, man. Wow, what a save by Gus Blood. Eamon Martin dives on the floor. And he'll tip it. However, it'll go out of bounds. Nice hustle there by Eamon Martin.
That's one of the things that Coach Spezia absolutely loves is players diving on the floor. Eamon didn't come up with the ball that time, but that's definitely not going to go unnoticed on the bench.
Oh, exactly. You know, they're rewarded in practice for diving on the floor, so there's good motivation for these players to get down and dirty, you could say, and slide across the board. To get the ball. Nice, another deflection by Blaze Aronia. And a quick sub update. Elijah Hall, number 33, he's perfectly fine. He's back in the game. Came in for Ian Whitehead. Blue ball. John Bronner gets past the 10-second line. Another heavy guarding job done by Matthew Romero. Trying to find an open man. Matthew playing a little bit off of him. Rough pass by John Bronner. Gets it back to him. John gets a little bit of space. Quickly trapped in the corner by Matthew. Ball's dead. Tries to bounce it off his foot. Gus Blood with the recovery. Eamon Martin with the ball. Takes the shot. Fantastic three-point shooter. Does not get it. But Charles Prather gets the ball. Nice dish into Gus Blood. Blaze running for the 3. Oh, no good. John Bronner with the rebounds. It's always nice to see those small guys getting those rebounds. They don't get them too much, but Bronner got one. Sloppy pass by Elijah Hall. Blaze running with the recovery. Nice pump fake. Plants his feet. And he'll get the foul.
Oh, man, I was hoping he would go up and dunk it. We know we've seen him in practice.
Oh, man.
We have a couple players on this team that can dunk. Both Eamon Martin and Blaze Laronia can both throw it down with a little bit of force. So we're hoping that in this game, they're a lot faster than the JV team. So we're really hoping that on one of these breakaways, we'll just see one of them drop a hammer on a dunk.
Oh, man, I don't know what I would do if I saw that happen. You know, I've been anticipating. The year before I came, there were some great talented players, Ian Burns, Joel Desse, great talented team, and a little extra perk of them was they were able to dunk. And it was just a fantastic atmosphere, brings a lot of energy. There's not too much, biggest thing it changes is it changes the momentum of the game. You know, if you're dunking on the other team, you're gonna get a lot of momentum, but not too much practical side of the game with dunking, but always fantastic to see that happen.
Right, so the timeout called by, I believe, was that Coach Spezia that called the timeout for White?
I think so.
So, right, so timeout called by him. He's discussing rallying the troops.
And I didn't quite see. Did you see who fouled Blaze around you over there at the free throw?
I didn't know. There was 3 of them that all grouped right on him when there was the he pump faked, which is exactly what you want to happen, because if you pump fake, they're all coming in so fast that one of them's probably gonna land on you, and that's what did happen. So he'll go to the line. Free throw shooting is definitely going to be a big part of Blaze's game this year, because he's going to be getting fouled all the time playing down low in the post.
And as we said earlier, he is a good shooter, and he made both of his free throws off to a great start. Blaze around you. And quick update, Elijah Hall was the one that fouled him. William Fitzpatrick into the game. First thing he does, steals the ball. Exactly what we want to see. Small guy, great handles, great shooting. Charles Brother gets the ball in the post. Nice defense by Ryan Taw. Matthew, corner, takes the shot, no good. Gus fights for the rebound off the hands of Nick Kellerman. Ball stays with White. Gus Blood using his weight down in the post. He's just got to get low, stick his butt into someone and box him out. Get that ball, go up aggressively. Number 10, William Fitzpatrick splits defense, and he'll grab the foul. I believe, yep, Ryan Taw captained the team. That's his first, team second.
So White up 12-2 right now with a little over 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter. We're going to see Andrew Sick, the freshman, subbed into the game to take Ryland's place. Sick was the star of last year's 8th grade basketball team, which also went to the regional tournament for middle school. So we'll probably see a lot of him, if not this year, then definitely in the coming years. He has a lot of talent, and if he can groom that, he'll be quite the player come senior year.
And one thing that was great about Andrew, he's got a really good head for basketball. You kind of see him standing there, and then boom, he's on top of the ball, taking it, stealing it, run down the court, scoring before you even can blink. And that's a great attribute to this team. Little speed, little brains to the team.
Right, another thing about Andrew is that he's left-handed. He and Ryland, the 2 left-handed players on this team, and that can always, if you're deep in a game, the other team's getting tired, and you force that. If you guard him like he's a right-handed player, he's just going to take it with his left hand and score on you.
And Blaze Aronia with the steal. Andrew Sick with another steal, gets it going the other way. He'll miss the layup. Matthew with the rebounds. Nice pump fake by Gus Blood. Matthew gets top of the key, gets it down to Charles Prather. He'll take the jumper. Defense goes back off of him. He'll miss that one. Nice rebound, Sean Holman. Kind of staying back low because they're facing against 3 big guys. It does open up 3-point shots for the White, but it'll be blue ball. Nice deflection by Gus Blood again.
Right, a lot of hustle being shown out there on the court right now. It seems every possession for blue, White is either tipping it, stealing it, or keeping them from scoring. There was an early first shot by, I believe, Ryland was the first points for blue. But since then, White has kept blue from scoring, and they'll try and continue that going into the finishing up the first quarter as White takes the ball back. Nicholas Kellerman dribbles it off his feet. He's unable to hold on to it, so White's going to get the ball going down the other way, hoping to score it.
Yeah, that could be a killer tool for the Lions. They got 3 big men down to the post. That means they're going to draw defenders back down. If we can work on our shooting, get our shooting, good shooting, that's fantastic. That's exactly what we want. Nice floater by Matthew Romero. Won't sink in. Blue gets the ball. Sean Holman with the rebounds. John Bronner. Double guarded. Matthew Romero, nice deflection. He'll take that, and it'll be White's ball. Nice hands. We've seen a lot of good hands this year. A lot of tipping from Blaze, Matthew, even Gus Blood, just big men. You don't really expect that from them. Blaze thinks about shooting it, doesn't take it, dishes it back to Blaze. Gus had it, and now off the fingers of Chuck Prather. Hard pass by Fitzpatrick, now it's blue ball.
Under 15 seconds now, left in the quarter. Father Carlisle tries to get John Bronner to call up one final play to score. John puts up the floater, misses. Elijah Hall with the rebound, and he gets fouled on the shot with 2 seconds left. So Elijah's going to go to the line to shoot 2 and try and tack on a couple extra points to try and cut that deficit for blue.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see from White. There was a hack. I think that was Blaze Rodney's hand. There were a lot of people down there, but he swung in the air. You don't want that. You want to go straight straight hands up. You don't need to swat them. You just want to put pressure in them, and it resulted in a foul. Nice free throw by Elijah Hall. A lot of pressure, I'm sure, is on him right now. He's playing against the varsity team. He's only a sophomore. And he's able to sink that free throw, bring the score 3-12 with 2.1 seconds left in the first quarter. Lining up for his second shot, and that is good, making both of them. Exactly what we want to see from him tonight. And Ian Whitehead coming behind Fitzpatrick. He'll take that shot, and that's no good.
So White up for the Lions, 12-4 in between quarters. Thank you again for the comments, and we'd like to give a little shout out to Joe Mackin. I'm sure many of you recall from seasons past. He was my broadcasting partner and then Father Cheverier's broadcasting partner before I joined the broadcast crew. So he always brought now he's watching and cheering us on.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. You know, Joe is a good help to me, you know, when I started broadcasting because they needed another person, you know. He just told me to calm down, just speak naturally, and he gave me a lot of good advice. So thank you, Joe. You know, you kind of formed the two broadcasters sitting right here, and, you know, that's all Salette's all about. You come here, you take what you can get, and then you give it to the people under you, and then you move on and take what you learned into the outside world.
Absolutely. Right now, we're actually have an alumnus visiting us, Mr. Michael Mackey, class of 2009. He's been sharing some of the wisdom that he's learned from his past couple years, just carrying on that same tradition to pass on what he's received to the student body right now.
Yeah, just a fantastic man. You know, it's always nice for alumni to come down and, you know, help us out. He's giving us some great advice, you know, and just he's helping us to not make, you know, mistakes that he made, teaching us things that he didn't do that he wished he could, and he's passing that information on to us, which is just so great because it just brings the, you know, that brotherly connection here that's at Los Salette that's so strong, and it's just really good to see, especially as a senior. You know, you can see these younger guys getting that formation that they really need.
So second quarter about to start. Elijah Hall is going to inbound the ball for Blue, and he does to John Bronner. Daniel Duggan into the game for his first action this season. He's going to be on. He's guarding the ball right now for White, number 12.
He's a great player. He has good hands, good hustle, great attitude. You know, he's really good for what's it called? The morale of the team. There you go. He's great for the morale of the team. Looks like Charles Prather goes over the back of Ian Whitehead. That'll be his first foul.
But yeah, Dan Duggan, one of those guys that shows up to work every day, one of the hardest workers on this team. And, you know, even though he hasn't gotten a lot of playing time in the past couple seasons, he hasn't let that stop him from working, not just here at school, but over the summer. I know that he spends a lot of time working on his game, and that might parlay into some playing time this year.
And I just want to pull attention to this. Benedict Blood has just come into the game, and I am so excited because we got a little brotherly rival on the court right now. Augustin Blood and Benedict Blood. Hopefully we see them, you know, facing off against each other. Nice interception by Charles Prather. He won't be able to contain it. Elijah Hall will come up with it, come up with the loose ball. However, Daniel Duggan intercepts the pass, and the ball will go to White. Nice play there by Charles Prather, number 22, big man down at the post.
Great for play after a really just tense, you know, wild play like that to get the play to settle down again. And Duggan did a good job securing the rebound and looking up, taking his time before giving it to Matthew.
Yeah, you just got to keep calm. You've got to go through the motions. They've been practicing for a long time now, so you just got to keep calm under the pressure, keep your head, keep your cool, and just play the basketball game. So it will be White ball. Aim Martin inbounding the ball. Nice look, Charles Prather. He almost touched that rim. Nice play there. Puts it in for two.
And that was a tough layup just watching it. He reversed. He went under the basket, but he didn't jump from very close. He was rather far away when he jumped, so it was pretty hard to make that, but he did, and he gets another steal and takes it back down.
Falls over. You know, he didn't want to plow John Bronner over, excuse me. You know, he could have planted his feet, caused a charge. However, Dan Duggan on the recovery. He'll travel. It'll be blue ball. A beautiful play there by Charles Prather. 2 in a row. It's exactly what we want to see.
The sophomore, number 12, Martin Schoberly, is going to be checking into the game, replacing number 35, Ian Whitehead.
Wearing my favorite number, number 12. When I played my freshman year, that's the number and that's the number my older brother wore when he played in his varsity games. And looks like John Bronner will go over. Was it over and back? Or was it a carry?
Yeah, no, it's going to be over and back. That looks like he was kind of confused because he was just dribbling. He crossed the center line, and then he picked up his back foot and put it back down. After he come over, it wasn't what you'd usually see for an over and back, but over and back nonetheless, so it'll be white ball as Eamon gets the ball into Gus Blood. Nice dish back to Eamon.
What a play.
Tries to put it up in traffic, but he's fouled and is going to head to the line to shoot two. Eamon, one of the best shooters on this team. I'm sure we can rely on him to put 2 free throws in.
And coming in for blue is Ryland Ta, captain. He came in for, I believe, Elijah Hall. And he'll miss his first free throw.
But he does make the second one. So 15-4 Lions. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half.
John Bronner being tightly guarded by William Fitzpatrick. Nice hands by Fitzpatrick. Not to foul him. And he'll get the 5-second foul. Tightly guarded by William Fitzpatrick. I believe the rule is if you're being tightly guarded by a defender and you're just dribbling around for more than 5 seconds, it's a turnover. Fitzpatrick playing point guard right now, and for Matthew Romero. Dribbles left, gets it to Eamon Martin in the corner. Back to Fitzpatrick at the wing. Nice dish to Blaze Runyon, wide open. Blaze looking for an open, dishes it to William Fitzpatrick. Down to the free throw line to Eamon Martin. Over to Fitz, fakes the 3, drives in, gets it out to Eamon Martin. Back to William Fitzpatrick. And the ball is staying only on the left side of the court, and that results in a turnover. Elijah Hall, nice hand, steals the ball. Gets it to John Bronner, takes past 10-second line quickly. Trapped in at the wing, over to Ryland. Ryland drives to the middle, dishes it to Martin Sherbley, almost loses it. Back to John Bronner. Slowing it down. Over to number 12, Martin Sherbley. Nice interception by Martin, by
Eamon Martin.
By Eamon Martin, and he'll be fouled by Martin Sherbley.
There's going to be a timeout called by blue team's coach, Father Carlisle. And I see him explaining right now to Martin Sherbley that cannot happen if you turn the ball over and then you go ahead and foul. That's almost like 2 turnovers, because not only are you turning it over just by giving the ball away, then you're also committing another foul, that's not just going to rack up for your personal total, but also in a game like this where blue is committing a lot of fouls, they're going to get White's going to be in the bonus pretty soon.
And was Ben Blood already in the game?
I don't know. I think that he might have come out when Ryland went back in.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like he's coming back into the game. He's sitting on the bench. And, you know, I am so happy how Blaze Laronia has been playing tonight. He's just great hands, using his height to stop the passes over his head. He's been threatening at the three-point line, drawing defenders.
Eamon Martin to inbound the ball for White. White is up 15-4. William Fitzpatrick taking point guard with Matthew Romero subbed out of the game right now. Takes the ball in, doesn't see anything, picks up his dribble, and gets it knocked away by John Bronner, so he's going to get his dribble back, but he gives it to Eamon Martin. Tries to get Ryland to move. No good on that. Daniel Duggan with the ball now. And he drives right around Martin Sherbley. Good pullback of the ball. Eamon with the ball behind three-point line. Not a sight you want to see to Gus Blood and into the paint for 2.
Nice play by Gus Blood, using his weight, gets his feet set. Good footwork, slides his right foot around, spins around, puts it in for 2. Beautiful play by Gustin Blood.
So yeah, Eamon, like I was saying, when you see when the other team sees Eamon behind the three-point line, that is not what the other team is looking for, because sooner or later he's just gonna pop right out and cash a 3. He did that a lot last year coming off the bench. He would come in and hit 2 quick 3s and just bring such great momentum to the Lions.
Same with William Fitzpatrick. He's a great three-point shooter. He doesn't have the same height that Eamon has, but he's got the form. He can make it. when he's open, so you better not leave that kid open.
Elijah with the ball down low, shoots the jump shot, tries to bank it in, but no good.
A little off balance
gonna pull down the rebound, right.
You gotta plant your feet, pump fake, especially with this team. He might have been able to do that last game, but against a varsity team, you're not gonna be able to shoot off balance. You gotta plant your feet.
William Fitzpatrick drives around John Bronner, but then John Bronner is able to poke the ball away, but he does commit a foul on that play.
And that's the 6th team foul, first personal foul.
Referee explained to Ryland that he's got to keep some space in between him and the white player inbounding the ball. William Fitzpatrick with the ball. Blaze Laronia sets the screen for him. Runs around a little bit with the ball and gets to aim in. Looks for the shot. Pump fakes. Puts it up again, no good. Charles Prather with the rebound. That's no good either, but then Blaze Laronia pokes it away, but then Elijah Hall ends up coming up with it. So a couple good shots by the Lions, a couple offensive rebounds, but eventually it comes away with nothing, and Blue's gonna have the ball going back down, and John Bronner, another over and back called on him. It's gotta be tough for him getting guarded by William Fitzpatrick. And you know, that's his second over and back call just in this quarter.
Yeah, William Fitzpatrick, he might be small, but he is quick. He has great hands. You got to be watching out for him reaching behind you, plucking the ball out. Nice defensive play there by John Bronner. Hitting the ball with his knee. Don't know if it was by accident or on purpose, but we'll just say it was on purpose for now.
But that will give the ball back to White on the kick. 17-4, White's up. Less than 3 minutes left in the half. Ryland's gonna come away with the ball. Fast break down the court. Lions in transition, but he's gonna be called for carrying the ball. He picked it up and turned his hand over, so it's gonna be another turnover for Blue, and White's gonna get the ball. Gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed that White hasn't been able to get more of their shots to fall. They had some great energy at the beginning of the game, and they've kept that up. They still have had a lot of good plays, but just not getting their shots to fall.
The rims are a little bit stiff. You can see there's not a lot of movement when you shoot the ball. And I don't think that has anything to do with it, but they're making all their layups and missing all their shots. So maybe they just need to start getting into the rhythm, getting their shots to drop. Nice play there by Eamon Martin, putting 2 points up on the board for White.
Benedict Blood has the ball behind the 3-point line. You know he's not gonna look to shoot there, big man that he is, so swings it back around. John Bronner with the ball again. Blue looking, trying hard to get something started. John Bronner with the shot, but that's gonna go too far. And nice play by Daniel Duggan to get the ball in the air, coming out of bounds, and he throws it in right off of Nick Kellerman's leg. So that's going to be the ball for White going back up the court.
Great IQ level. You know, I loved when Joseph Derritola used to do that last year. It just shows like how aware you are in the game. You're not freaking out. You know exactly what to do. You want the ball back, and that's exactly what we want to see from players like Daniel Duggan, you know, taking every advantage he has to touch that ball and to help out his team.
Charles gets the ball up top near the elbow, drives in, strong drive, and he finishes the layup for 2. That's great. He had the ball out near the elbow, and last year he took a lot of shots from the elbow that didn't go in. So it looks like he learned a little bit and was able to pump fake, drive it, and sink that.
We've seen a lot of growth from all these players. They must have put a lot of hard work in over the summer, which is great. It just shows their commitment to this sport.
Right, Elijah Hall trapped in the corner right now and gives the ball right over to Blaze Laronia. He gets it to Fitzpatrick. And there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Spezia with 44 seconds left in the half. He's probably going to tell them to run one of the plays that they've been practicing.
And Blaze Laronia, really excited about that. He's had a great night, especially on defense. I think he's had 3 tips so far, 2 interceptions. He's been putting up points on the board. Just overall, just a really good player. And he's so threatening because tall man he's tall man with handles. I kind of compare him to Kevin Durant. He's tall man with handles, can drive in, and he can step out the 3-point line and shoot whenever he wants. And it usually falls. Hasn't really fallen tonight, but I've been watching him in practice, and he's usually falling. But I'd like to give a quick shout out to Sam Betts, blue manager, and over on the right, on our left is Luke Pedri, the white varsity manager. The Lions white team, their varsity manager. These managers put a lot of hard work in, a lot of free time to get equipment ready, and to make it easier for the players to go out there and play their hardest. Lead increasing throughout this second quarter, 21-4.
And I hear Father Carlisle telling the blue team that they're going to go back to man-to-man defense. I think that's going to work a little bit better because, as we know, zone, it can be more effective, but it's also a lot harder to run on the defensive side of things. So White's going to have to change their approach a little bit. We'll see if it gets any easier for them.
The substitution in the game, Ian Whitehead comes in for the blue. And Nicholas Kellerman comes in for Ben Blood.
William Fitzpatrick dribbling. He and John Bronner have just been going at it all game, both of them playing tight defense on each other, and it seems like a lot of the game is both of them just trying to get an open look.
And that's Ryland Taw, his 3rd foul. I believe that's the 6th foul for the team.
I think it's the 7th. I think
foul, yeah,
that's going to put them into the bonus.
Great advantage for the Lions, but it's an advantage that they're only going to have for 28 seconds because that will go away at the second half. Putting in the bonus means that whatever the foul is, doesn't matter if they're shooting, they'll be able to go to the free throw line, and if they're in the single bonus, that means that they get to shoot 1 for 1. So that means if they make the first one, they get to shoot a second one, as we just saw Eamon Martin makes his first one, so he'll be shooting 2. And if you're in the double bonus, which is above 8 fouls.
10 fouls.
10 fouls, excuse me. If you're in the double bonus, then no matter what the foul is, you're going to shoot 2 free throws automatically.
Eamon gets another free throw, so he's 3 for 4 on his free throws right now. Very good to see. 24 seconds left. John Bronner trying to call up one final play to try and end this game on a good night for blue. William Fitzpatrick goes for the steal, unable to get it, and it's going to be a kick ball off of Blaze Laronia with 13 seconds left in the game.
There we go. We like to see those quick hands, the quick movements. I thought he touched it, but I guess kicked it, and that's what we like to see from Blaze Laronia, stopping the momentum of the defense. Of the offense.
It's going to be another travel called for John Bronner.
Might have looked like there was a little shove by Fitzpatrick, but ref calls travel.
Right, John Bronner with a lot of weight on his shoulders this game, playing point guard against the Lions varsity team. Clock winding down. Fitzpatrick just needs to get a shot off, but he does not, and ends the quarter dribbling. So, at the end of the first half, it's going to be the Lions white team up 23 against the Lions blue team with 4 points. We'll take a quick break for halftime, and we'll be back to bring you the scoring leaders for both teams.
And please, in any way that you think that we can improve our broadcasting, please drop a comment. You want a shout out, drop a comment, give us some feedback. We love to see your comments, and we'll try to give a couple shout outs to anybody who does. So thank you very much. We'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the preseason blue and white game for La Salette before they begin their season. I'm Kevin Quigley alongside Michael McCall, and we're excited bringing the second half of action. We've got less than a minute until we start the game again after halftime. White is up right now 23-4 over the blue, mostly JV team. So in that first half, we saw a lot of fast-paced play by White, a lot of forced turnovers by White, but not quite as much scoring success as I think that we'd like to see. There was some open looks, but it seemed like they were having a bit of trouble creating those looks, and I think part of that might have been Matthew Manor was subbed out a lot in that first half, and William Fitzpatrick took his place at point guard. So of course not the starting point guard for the Lions, so they're not going to be playing quite at peak performance. But we'll see how it goes because Matthew is back in to start the second half.
And we saw, I said this, I think at the end of the first half, but some great basketball playing by Blaze Aronia, good hands. Oh my goodness, what a play by Charles Prather. He's also been great today, Blaze and him, great big men. We're a little worried about what was going to happen this year without our great fast shooting team last year, but we're looking like we're handling pretty well. And we'll see how we do on Tuesday, but great big man play.
Right, and right now we have the scoring leaders for the white team as Eamon Martin takes the ball down the court, misses, but then Blaze puts the ball up. So as I was saying, scoring leaders right now for White, Charles Prather's leading with 10, followed closely by Blaze Laronia with 8. Eamon Martin has 5, and then Augustin Blood and Matthew Romero both have 2. So a lot of scoring pressures on the big man. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, because the more the big men score in the post, draws the defense in, and then we got Matthew Romero, Eamon Martin, William Fitzpatrick can come in, and they can just start taking threes, and hopefully they'll start making them.
Ian Whitehead takes the 3 himself, misses, but the rebound goes right back to him, but he now gets trapped in the corner, but gets the ball out to John. Mismatch right now. Blaze is guarding John.
And I think that's what it's supposed to be like. I think they want Blaze around you out there guarding the point guard.
But Blaze does foul him, trips him up, so Blue's going to get the ball back.
John Bronner takes it past the 10-second line. Spins around, gets it over to Ryan Taw. Back over, nice interception by Eamon Martin. Hustling down the court, nice fancy move. And it'll be a blocking foul. Did that go in?
No, it did not. It went up, it rolled around, and then rolled right out. It was a great move by Eamon. I thought for sure that was going to be in. Thankfully, a charge wasn't called on Ryland.
Might have been a little unnecessary by Eamon Martin, but it was still pretty cool, a little fancy, and he's at the free throw line now, and that will give the captain and the most dominant player on the JV team, Ryan Taw, his 4th foul. 7th team foul, 1st team foul of the quarter.
And if Ryland fouls out, that's just going to be devastating for the blue team. He's doing a lot of work for him. He gets subbed out now to keep him from fouling out, and Peter Agbaparone and Andrew
crosses the line before the ball has left the player's hand. If defense does it, then they'll just shoot again. If White does it, if the basket counts, it doesn't count, if that makes sense.
Right, so costly mistake for Blue. That's going to be another free throw. Eamon did miss his free throw, but he does make the one that was forced by that violation. So it's going to be 29-4 now for White.
And that is a deadly attack there by Blaze Ronia. Blaze Ronia and Eamon Martin trap Peter Agbaparone. Blaze sticks his hands up. There's no way he's getting the ball above it, and he had to force himself around. And it was a nice play by Peter Agbaparone, sophomore this year.
Peter gets the ball again, up top, guarded by Blaze and Chuck. Looks like the Lions are into a zone defense now because they keep trapping the blue team up at the top on the wings. And there's going to be a foul called for a push, number 24, Matthew Romero.
Matthew was a little stuff happy. He wanted stuff in there, and it did cause a foul. Coach Spacey doesn't really like to see that, and the ref is talking to Matthew Romero right now about it. And that will give the blue JV team, their 5th point, scored by Sean Holman.
Sean Holman Jr. this year has seen some JV time over the years. He might see some varsity time this year. Time will tell.
Nice rebound by Chuck. Aggressively grabs it. Moves his elbows around to keep the other players away. Dish off to Gustin Blood. Recovers it, and there's a travel.
Too bad, because that was a really nice move, a pump fake and then a drive in, but unfortunately he moved both his feet, didn't put the ball on the court, so that's going to be a travel. Andrew Sick, the freshman, taking the ball up for blue.
And he'll travel. Nice defense by the big men, down all the way about a couple inches outside of the three-point line. You don't see too often.
Referee's doing a nice job instructing all the players. They know that this is a preseason scrimmage, so after most of these fouls or turnovers, they're talking to the player that violated the rule and explaining just what happened.
Exactly. Matt gets it over to the wing. Eamon Martin thinks about shooting, doesn't. Pulls it back out. Swings it top of the key, down to the post, over to Eamon Martin. Thinks against shooting. Deadly three-point shooter right there. Dribbling around, gets it to Blaze Runyon. Nice pass to Gustin Blood. Takes the shot. No good. Charles Prather almost with the rebounds. Ian Whitehead comes up with the rebounds. Brings it all the way down to the other end of the court. And Peter Agbaparone, tightly guarded by Blaze Runyon, off the knee of Charles Prather. That's blue ball. Now I'm surprised how Peter's handling the ball right now. He's up against a really tall, fast player, Blaze Runyon. He's keeping his cool, making smart passes. He has made a couple mistakes, but pretty well for his experience level.
Yeah, I really like how Blue on those last two possessions has been getting back down the court on offense really quickly, and they're forcing the varsity to get down quickly and play defense. They're making sure that White can't hang out, or otherwise they're going to score on them.
Nice hustle there by Charles Prather. Grabs the ball, however, goes off the head of Eamon Martin and hits Peter Agbaparone, I think, and it's blue ball. Charles Prather, jumper, right side, beautiful. Beautiful shot there by Charles Prather, number 22. Big man down to the post. Again, Peter with the ball, loses control of it, regains it. Tipped by Blaze, so he can dribble again. Over to Andrew. To Sean. Sean gets to Elijah. Nice shot, no good. Charles Prather rebounds. Over to Matthew Romero. Matthew hasn't played too much tonight, but for the time that he has, he's played well. Trying to follow in the footsteps of his older brothers, Enrique and Brian. You know, they both played varsity basketball. Brian, I believe, played on the 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think Enrique played 2017, Brian played 2018.
Okay, I'm sorry, yeah. Sorry about that. So Matthew hopes to follow in their footsteps, make a little legacy for their family on the basketball court of La Salette.
Enrique Romero was with us tonight watching the game. Hope he's still there. Shout out to him.
Also, shout out to Patrick Martin. Thank you, Patrick. You know, Patrick and I have a little background. You know, every time he comes down to visit, we have to play a one-on-one game because that's what he did with my brother. You know, I usually come out on top. In reality, I usually get destroyed by him, but it's always fun to come out here and play with him and have that time with the alumni, you know, learn some wise wisdom from him while he's destroying me in basketball. So that's always delightful. But back to the basketball game that we are watching live. Matthew Romero gets it over to Eamon Martin. And that'll be a turnover, blue ball. Theo Carlisle just came into the game. Andrew Sick gets the ball into John Bronner. Blaze Runyon slaps the floor, shows aggression. Nice defense, and he'll trip him up.
This is going to be a foul called by number 5, Blaze Laronia. And number 12, Daniel Duggan, the senior, going to come in and take number 11, Eamon Martin's spot. A little bit of miscommunication with Blue as to who was going to inbound the ball. Andrew Sick eventually gets out there and passes the ball into the point guard. Theo Carlisle into the game for the first time for Blue. He loses it, but gets the ball up and then passes in, and it's going to be a kick off number 30, Sean Holman.
And his brother, father, James Carlisle, sitting on the bench. I'm sure very proud of his younger brother, you know, making an appearance in this game, number 13. Hopefully, he's hoping to see him thrive in this game. make a couple shots.
Andrew's sick with the ball. Covered by about 3 or 4 of the white players. The ball gets over to Theo Carlisle. Close to the corner, gets to Sean Holman in the paint. He dives on the floor, and it's going to be a travel called on Sean. It's really hard when you're diving like that to keep from traveling. And, you know, he rolled over, so that's going to count as moving his feet. Matthew with the ball now. We'll see. Oh, we just really haven't seen any good scoring this quarter. We did see Charles had a nice layup early in the game. But, I mean, there's just so many times when White just keeps on coming down the court and they keep coming up empty. Blaze's shot falls short. Charles.
We'll consider that shot right there a pass to Charles Prather. And Charles catches it, puts it straight into the basket for 2. Charles Prather, trying to guard Andrew Sick. Ball thrown around a little bit, back in the hands of Elijah Hall, and he'll be fouled going up for 2.
I really like that from Elijah Hall. He had the ball pivoted, saw that there was an opening, not very wide, but he still went in strong and was able to draw the foul even though he didn't come up with the bucket.
Score 33-5. 2 minutes, 43 seconds left of the game. Elijah Hall hoping to score his 3rd point of the game. Made a basket earlier in the first quarter. First shot, no good. No, I can't remember who said something similar to this, and we're gonna have to paraphrase. But you know, free throws are just free points, and there's no luck. There's no, doesn't matter what's going on around. It's all just the skill that you've been practicing throughout, and it's just your muscle memory of putting that ball in the basket, moving with your hands, and it's just a great expression of how awesome, if I can use that word, sport basketball is.
Right, and the free throw is going to be the same no matter where you go, who you're playing. That free throw, it's not going to be any different. The only thing that's going to make it different is the pressure that's on you. You know, in the game, you're going to have a different play every single game. You're never going to have the same play. But the free throw is the one constant in basketball. It's the one thing that you can always rely on. And that's why it's always so disappointing when, you know, you get a great player who he gets fouled, goes to the line, and he misses both his free throws because it's just like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, it's just the pressure getting to your head. And, you know, when you're able to make those big free throws, you know, first person that comes to my mind is Steven Deister. Always able to knock down those free throws no matter how much the pressure was. And it just shows the amount of concentration, the discipline that player has. It's just always great to see. Might have been a travel there, but Charles Prather throws up a layup. No good. Rebound Elijah Hall.
Right, like you were saying, Steve, our captain last year. One of the 4 seniors starting on that team. Sorely missed this year, but, I mean, it doesn't look like, it looks like we're going to be able to get along quite well without him.
Yeah, Matthew Romero got big shoes to fill. We'll see how he does. Steve was a small player, but, man, that guy was fast, great shooter, and he just had a killer instinct. He was going to go get to the basket. He was going to score no matter what was happening.
Blaze has another shot fall short. The varsity team are unable to box out, and Elijah Hall gets the rebound. Elijah has been playing really well this quarter. He's had, you know, that foul, the free throw they made, and then there's another rebound. Theo Carlisle with the ball down low, tries to get at Andrew Sick, but it's deflected off Dan Duggan. John Bronner with a nice fake, a deep floater, but it clanks off the front of the rim.
Theo Carlisle had the opportunity to score, and I'm sure Father Carlisle wanted him to put those baskets up, get those points on the board. Get the Carlisle name on the scoreboard, but didn't take the shot, got it over to a teammate.
Right, Theo, the 6th Carlisle to come through this school. The 2 priests, fathers James and John Carlisle, and then his older brothers Joseph, Michael, and David. Dave was a senior our freshman year, and we watched him play a lot of basketball. I remember one of his most impressive performances ever was against Milford. He made 5 3-pointers, and we were all just going, wow, that was a great game too. Back in 2020.
Exactly, and he has also got a younger brother, Anthony Carlisle. He'll be closing off the long list of Carlisles that have been attending La Salette. I think every year of La Salette, there's been a Carlisle enrolled in the school. So Anthony will end that, and he's going to be a powerhouse on the rugby field, you know. Just got to get that killer instinct in him, got to get that aggression in him, and nobody's going to be stopping him.
And Anthony is a big boy, let me tell you that.
I can't wait until the rugby season starts and just see him just, you know, get out there, run some people over, score some tries.
But for now, Theo Carlisle trying to guard Eamon. There's a switch though, and Duggan ends up with the ball. Eamon trying to call for the ball. He's wide open right now. Fitz looking, but not willing to risk the pass. Gets the ball into Charles, a lot safer, and Eamon ends up coming up with it anyway. Clock winding down right now. Eamon sees it, tries to drive in. Nice shot, doesn't fall. Charles Prather with the putback.
What a shot! What a catch, and what instincts Charles Prather has. Gets the shot up before the clock runs down to 0. Adds 2 points to the scoreboard, and you know, moments like that could determine if we win or lose a game, which is great. You know, we've seen some great plays. Charles Prather, awesome down in the defense. Plays around you, not in right now, but he's had a stellar game. Matthew Romero, he's not in. For the few minutes that he's been in, he's been pretty good. You know, controlling the team, telling them where to go, and it's just really awesome to see that he's gonna hopefully be able to start on Tuesday, our Georgetown game, and be able to dominate in that.
So Charles Prather right now leading scorer for the white team with 16 points, almost half the points for the white team.
That's exactly what we expect from Charles. You know, varsity player, he played last year, and coming back this year, a lot of experience. I'm sure he might have some butterflies, but you know, he's had this experience on the floor. He's used to it, used to the pressure. He's able to just get in there and be dominant, and he looks very comfortable out there on the floor. He looks comfortable with his new teammates, not his new teammates, but he looks comfortable with his team out there right now. You know, that's exactly what we want to see in this game tonight. Coach Vitri over in the stands. He's our athletic director. He's also our A-side rugby coach. Sitting next to a couple of the teachers, Mr. Gazzoli and Mr. Ruth.
Lions come out for the 4th and final quarter of play. 8 more minutes to get in those game speed reps like I was talking about a lot earlier in the game and get ready for the upcoming season.
Duggan with the ball. Almost poked out by Andrew Sick. Trying to find someone, gets it over to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick over to Eamon. Fitzpatrick open. Fitzpatrick gets the ball stolen from him by Bronner. Bronner, oh! And looks like Fitzpatrick almost stole it, but found Bronner on the way down. And Andrew Sick will be inbounding the ball. Let's see what Blue can do. Nicholas Kellerman in the game right now. And that's no good. Ball tipped out. Out of bounds, it'll be white ball. A little miscommunication out there on the court. William Fitzpatrick gets it over to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin down to Gus Blood in the paint. Paint puts it up for 2. That's good. Beautiful shot there by Gustin Blood. Charles Prather was also there to get the rebound or to get a dish off and put 2 points up for himself. John Bronner trying to run the court, slowing things down a little bit. Drives left. Over to Theo Carlisle in the corner. Intercepted by William Fitzpatrick. One of the things I've noticed with this varsity team right now is they don't really reverse the basketball. They kind of keep the ball on one side of the court. Nice pass to Gustin Blood. Nice pump fake. Good for 2. That's 2 consecutive points from our big man down in the post, number 3, Gustin Blood. And coming back into the game is Rylan Ta, captain of the JV team right now. Oh, man. Looks like Duggan extends his hand. And that'll be a foul on Duggan. John Bronner's second foul he's drawn in the past 2 minutes. John Bronner is going to the free throw line. He sat down. Ref calls him back out because they're in the bonus. He'll be shooting 2. He'll be shooting 1 and 1.
So that is not what we want to see from the varsity team, already giving up the bonus just barely into the fourth quarter.
Ben Blood, number 31, back into the game. Hopefully we see some little bit of camaraderie between him and his older brother. Maybe they can guard each other down in the paint. See what happens there. John Bronner makes his first free throw. He's a pretty good free throw shooter. He's calm under pressure. Second free throw is good. And Ryan Todd will now come into the game for John Bronner. (39-10). Varsity team is up 6 minutes. Under 6 minutes, 23 seconds left in the game. Sorry. Fitzpatrick loses control of the ball. Regains it. Over to Daniel Duggan. Doesn't shoot it. Gets to Gus Blood. Nice floater. And what a shot! Gus Blood going off in the fourth quarter. 6 points in 2 minutes. Outstanding. Daniel Duggan guarding Andrew Sick. Ryan Inns. First time touching the ball since in the second half. Back to Andrew Sick. Drives right. Jump throw. Intercepted by William Fitzpatrick. Almost to travel. Over to Augustin Blood. And another shot by Augustin Blood. That's 8 points. Plays Ronya doing a little scooping sign showing that he's just scooping up all these points. Land basket in after basket.
That was a great feed by William Fitzpatrick, too. He was going down the court in the fast.
And another shot by Augustin Blood. 10 points in 3 minutes. What an outstanding player he has shown himself to be tonight.
Right, Gus Blood last year, we saw a lot of struggles as he came in at the beginning of the season. You could always tell that he was really nervous out there, and then as the season went on, he started to slow down. He started to get a little bit more comfortable, but never anything like we've seen tonight. He's just piling on the points, and he looks like he wants to be out there, and he deserves to be out there.
Oh, man, and maybe a little bit of that confidence came from his rugby season. A fantastic rugby season. Came in as a junior, jumped on the varsity rugby team, and was just dominating out there. Just absolute fantastic player, and now seeing him on the basketball court this year, we'll see how he does in the regular season, but it's looking pretty good for him right now.
William Fitzpatrick evades the trap up top, drives to the elbow, takes the shot, no good. Duggan's gonna take a shot, and that is good. He buries it for 2 to put White up 47-10. So White finally kicking into gear. This is what I've been waiting for all game. We saw a little bit of it at the beginning. It kind of slowed down, and then now they're kicking the scoring up again. Exactly what we need to happen.
Daniel Duggan, he will foul Andrew Sick. Maybe a little bit too excited after that beautiful shot that he had. And Blaze Rodia coming into the game, number 5. I want to see him shoot a 3, and I want to see him sink that. You know, Blaze Rodia has been trying so hard, working a lot, very hard in the field house, putting up shots. And, you know, I'm happy that he's out there tonight, you know, showing off what the hard work that he's put in to make it onto this varsity team. 47-11, 4 minutes, 16 seconds. Andrew Sick shoots his second free throw, and that's good. And Andrew bringing the defense close up to the 10-second line. And Fitzpatrick again drives past him. Blaze running a nice pass into Charles Prather. Charles Prather circles around all the way around. Lays it in with his right hand. Beautiful play by Charles Prather. I believe that's 12 points, 14 points for him now.
That's more like 18, I think.
Oh, wow.
We'll get the actual scoring totals for you, but at the end of the game, but Eamon Martin with the steal takes it down, and just a smooth layup to put the Lions above 50 points, 51-12 right now over Blue.
We're seeing a lot of good defense right now. Andrew Sick tries to swing it behind his back. Nice rebound. Ben Blood. Is that on Augustin Blood?
I do not know, but if so, that's a little bit embarrassing for Gus. I mean, getting scored on by your younger brother, I don't care where you are. Oh, man, that hurts. But good, that was a good play. That was a good play.
Beautiful play. I saw Gus in the vicinity, but I don't know if it was actually on him, but that's great. Freshman against senior, brother. You know, I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Blood are so proud of their sons out there, both putting their hearts out on the floor, trying to trying to help the team as much as they can to make the Lions as good of a basketball team as they can be this year, and contributing to whatever they can in whatever way they can. Quick timeout. 30-second timeout, I believe. White taking a little bit of extra time. Again, we'd like to thank the producer, William Marine, and the cameraman, Tom Staffke. Also our Lion. Great line tonight. He had a few dance moves earlier at halftime, but showing off his skill. He's actually joining me right now. You can't see him, but he's right next to me. I don't think he can really speak, but he says hello to all the fans out there. Fitzpatrick taking the ball up court. Under 4 minutes left in the game, 51-14. Eamon Martin. Lob pass over to Fitzpatrick. Thinks about the three. Doesn't take it. Gets Bronner jumping. Over to Eamon Martin. Fans cheering for Charles. Fitzpatrick takes a shot. No good. Gus Blood takes a shot. Moves in. What a play. Gus Blood racking up the points in the fourth quarter. What a play. Grabs the rebound. Good footwork. Drives in. Sees it's an open lane. Puts it in for 2. Pass stolen by White. Charles Prather with the ball. Over to Eamon Martin. Back down to William Fitzpatrick. Over to Eamon Martin. Thinks about the three. He'll take it, and that's no good. A little short. John Bronner with the rebounds. Bronner into the post. Over to Nicholas Kellerman. Swings around. Crazy shot. Gus Blood tries another shot. No good. Rebound. Elijah Hall puts it up for 2. No good. Gus tips it out to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin gets it. Runs down the court. Fast pace. Has Blaze Arena, and he'll pull back out to the 3-point line. Over to William Fitzpatrick. Down. Oh. Charles Prather kind of loses control of it. In the face. Well, Elijah was in his face. Grabs the ball. A little risky by Ryannon, but he'll grab the ball out of bounds and gets it to John Bronner.
John almost loses it, but is able to maintain control. Blues definitely getting tired right now.
Gus Blood. He'll be in there. Tip the ball, and it looks like it's off blue, and it'll be white ball.
So William Fitzpatrick dribbling and giving it to Eamon with less than 2 minutes left to play. White up 53-14. Eamon open, drives in, jumper, and it's good.
What a beautiful shot by Eamon Martin. I mean, cool, collected, dribble with his left hand, I believe. Takes the jumper with the defender in his face, sinks it. Beautiful shot. Fitzpatrick, he'll grab the ball, but it will go off his foot. Kick the ball. The ball will stay with blue. Minute, 17 seconds left. 55-14. Andrew Sick comes in for Ben Blood. A little miscommunication there, but Ben will take a seat on the bench while his classmate comes into the game. Andrew Sick gets the ball to Bronner. Gets it back to Andrew Sick. Over to Ryan Tall. Shoots the three. That's no good. I don't believe any threes have been made this game.
I don't think so, no. I think you're right, and Blaze and Chuck both going up for that rebound. Blaze able to pull it down. Blaze.
Nice pass.
Open layup for Blaze, he misses. Then he misses the contested layup as well after getting his own rebound, and it's going to be blue ball. So, yeah, well, the style of play right now is definitely a lot different than last year. Like, if this was last year's blue and white game, there'd probably be, I don't know, 8 threes made by now, 10. And we haven't seen any, but that's because the scoring burden right now carried by the forwards. Charles Prather with 18 points and Gus Blood with 12. Eamon's close behind them with 11, but even that's just coming off of 2 pointers and free throws. So hopefully that won't be too much of a problem in this season. I mean, if they can fill the gap left by the departure of the 3-point shooters, then with the forward play, then that's just fine.
And Gus Blood just coming out on fire. I don't know what happened when he was on the bench, but he just comes out fourth quarter just scoring basket after basket, just laying them up easy. They're not all easy. He had a couple of floaters, a couple of jump shots on the right side. And he's just been dominating in this fourth quarter. Rebounds, aggressive on defense, and him and Chuck are just going to be a powerhouse this year.
Elijah's second shot is no good. Eamon comes down with the rebound and gives it to Fitzpatrick. A little over 40 seconds left to play in the game.
And Eamon's got some shoes to fill. You know, his brother Patrick Martin, he was on the basketball team in 2018, I believe. And Joe Martin, 2017, I'm sorry, so sorry. And Joe Martin was playing last year.
Blaze Laronia sinks another two-pointer to make it 57 to 15 in favor of the white team. But yeah,
nice tip by Blaze Laronia. Over to Fitzpatrick. They need to score a 3 to put themselves above 60. Blaze Laronia takes a floater, contested. Might have not been the smartest shot. Nicholas Kellerman grabs the ball. Andrew Sick, 1 second left, takes a shot, and that's no good.
So final score for tonight's blue and white game is going to be the white team wins 57 to 15. Leading scorers for the game, Charles Prather with 18, Augustin Blood with 12, Blaze Laronia with 10, and then Amy Martin right above him with 11. For the blue team, Elijah Hall came in with the lead with 6 points, and then Ryland Hall, Ben Blood, and Andrew Sick all had 2. So a lot of good basketball that we saw this year. An exciting start to what will prove to be an exciting season, I'm sure. Do you have any thoughts from that game?
You know, I liked what I saw out there. I was a little afraid coming into this season, brand new team, didn't have a ton of experience, you know, but they really showed that they have confidence. We have good team chemistry. You know, the subs, they're looking good. You know, we have a deep bench this year, and that will be nice. You know, there weren't as many shots taken that were made that I liked. A lot of missed shots that should have been made. We can improve on that definitely just beginning of the season, but you know, overall, I think we look pretty good, and we'll see actually how we compete against another varsity team on Tuesday. Please join in and watch that. I don't know exactly when that time is, but you can look it up on the...
So it's going to be 7 o'clock against Georgetown Ridge Farm JV before at 5:30, and hopefully we'll see that fast-paced play that we saw tonight from the Lions in that game. Until then, on Tuesday, we'll be bringing you that game like we said, and until then, I'm Michael McCall and Kevin Quigley signing off.